The language of the Normans who conquered England in 1066 is actually still spoken in some territories controlled by the British Crown. The Normans spoke a variety of French just called Norman French, and their conquest of England is the reason that there's so many words of French origin in English. So words like government, music, reason, author, they all come from Norman French. But while the royalty in England eventually stopped speaking Norman French, some people just didn't. Before also ruling England, the Normans just ruled the Duchy of Normandy, which contained large parts of northern France and also the Channel Islands. So these islands are in the English Channel between France and Britain. When they conquered England, they kind of unified this all into one territory. But after a couple centuries, those Norman territories in France were eventually lost, but not the Channel Islands. They stayed loyal to the crown and became what are now called crown dependencies. So they're not like parts of the UK, but they're under the British crown. It's kind of confusing. The Norman dialects in mainland France eventually died out as standard Parisian French was imposed. And as I said before, they died out in England too. But descendants of the Norman French language are still spoken in the Channel Islands. So for instance, on the Channel Island of Jersey, they speak Jersey, and on the island of Guernsey, they speak Guernesey. And these dialects or languages, whatever you want to call them, are direct descendants of Norman French. So when I speak English, a lot of my words are descended from Norman French, but their whole language is descended from Norman French. However, as with a lot of languages with lower populations, these dialects are at a risk of dying out. If you're from the Channel Islands, let me know what your experience has been like with the varieties of Norman French there.